On the land, the sea, the sky, pledge allegiance to your hands, your team, your vibes. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe. Well, actually, it's going to be some TA on DEVVE, OMI, and DEFINITY, a couple of memes as well. I'm not going to be here for too long because I do have a flight to catch. Bleeves is going to come in at some point. But yeah, let's talk about what's going on with everything. Let's just take a look at the general markets. Some of this is going to be based off what Trump has said, I think yesterday when I was on, or maybe 2 days ago. Right now, Bitcoin's pretty flat on the day, up 0.5%, ETH down 0.2%, not really here nor there. Everything else pretty flat. Nothing's really up or down more than 1% in the top 10. Obviously, after that, Bitcoin Cash down 4.5%. Leo token up 13%. Very nice. Not much. We got, Tammy Hannah saying safe travels. Well, thank you. Uniswap up 19% for some reason. Canton CC up 26% on the day. That is wild. Whoever was in Canton, good job, kids. Good job. Midnight, aka Night. So there's a Midnight from Charles Hoskinson, Cardano people. The Cardano people are very cultish, very crazy in the best way possible. Anything that man does, which he's got a pig called Nike the Pig that I'm actually writing a comic book for. He's very aware of it. He loves it. He'll be promoting that when it comes out. So we're hoping that because Nike the Pig is going to be a comic on VeVe, he's going to go in and say, oh, hey, check out Nike the Pig on VeVe. Hopefully get a bunch of users, people buying the OMI token and all that jazz, because it's likely going to mint out. Like they're probably going to be a bunch of people that won't be able to get it from the store. And then they're going to have to go to the secondary market, either on VeVe or Stacker. We're hoping Stacker, so they buy OMI, they get that burn, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, Midnight or Night is the new token. It is in the top 100 at 17% up on the day, 4% the last hour, and there might be another announcement from Midnight or aka from Night about who they're doing some deals with, and I think it might be something that I'll talk about. It might be something that I'll. I don't know if I can get Charles on. That'd be great if I could. Maybe someone from the Night team, but there will probably be an announcement. I was really hoping. Well, I was hoping before Christmas. Now I'm not going to be available probably for a few days. I told my girlfriend, I'm sorry. Like I do have a little bit of work to do this weekend. Sunday, Monday, maybe Tuesday, like the whole vacation. Not a lot though. But anyway, so Night is going to have an announcement talking about certain trading things, certain things that they're doing that's going on that maybe we'll have some things to celebrate about here. What's going on, Booth? How's it going, fam? Hope you're doing well. And I think that's it for the top 100 about anything up or down crazy prices. It is Bitcoin is Ash Crypto Real says Bitcoin's now at $88,000 stablecoin. That's hysterical. Let's go over some of the news here, just because we happen to have a little bit of it. I told everyone I was supposed to go live yesterday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I had a podcast with Carrie Heretic. She's been on the podcast before. She had some family stuff going on yesterday. She wasn't able to do that. They're still doing their big announcement for the end of the year. No, they are going to be doing that about 30 to 90 days from like 3 days ago, which could mean, well, what they need to do for the announcement to come out is have their virtual asset service provider license. And that is definitely going to happen. Well, I should say this. In order for that to happen, you need the Clarity Act passed, because a lot of the regulators are waiting on that before they give the okay to divvy out more VASP licenses. And the Clarity Act will pass in January. So that's why they said, okay, 30 to 90 days before we get the license. Once they get the license, it'll be about 2 weeks before they can announce it. And then the announcement comes. So potentially late January, but more likely it's going to be like late March or early April for the big announcement. So I'm actually going to get a little bit more next week because the prices are way down. It would have been nice if I had known this delay was going to happen, because I probably put in like 60K into DEVVE. It's probably worth like 30K now. Anyway, so that is still happening. And Bleeves is actually coming on to talk about that, because you have in the announcement, it was actually very bullish. Part of the reason why they didn't want to do it this year is because the market is just god awful right now. Because they could force it, because again, they need the license to do it. Tom even said over in Telegram, if we don't get the license by that 30 to 90-day window, we'll just acquire a company that has the license so that this way we have it. So it'll take a couple more months. But one of the other reasons is because they're talking to a couple of big institutional banks that they're looking to raise some money with, and it would just be much better to go and raise that money beforehand because of the blue sky valuation. Yeah, I know we have to wait a couple more months, but it'll be fine. We're not worried. Again, Crypto Rain's actually pretty happy with it, and so is Bleeves, because again, long term, it is still really good, and it's actually better that they do it this way than not. So again, I know it sucks. We have to wait another couple months, maybe even 4 months, but we are, like I said, nothing has changed in the long term. The fundamentals are still there. Everything's still a go. They talk to the big partner literally like every day, like multiple times a week, maybe not every day, but they touch base on everything that's going on. They probably have, what they probably have is at the end of every shift, they talk to someone over there, like, hey, this is what's going on. Here's what we got done in this shift. Here's what we didn't get done, et cetera, et cetera. And that's probably what it is. We used to have that in the military, like turnover, powerful, okay. Scared to leave the house. Delaware Supreme Court officially reinstates Elon Musk's $56 billion Tesla pay package from 2018. DoorDash. Starting at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So about midnight on December 23rd or 9 p. Oh, I'm sorry. This is 12 p.m. on December 22nd, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. Listing fees on Pinnacle will increase to 50 cents. So all current and future listings will automatically expire after 30 days. The marketplace will be opening 24/7 for Disney Pinnacle. Pretty excited about that. That's very cool. Because again, we want to have as many big marketplaces or as many NFT marketplaces do as well as possible, because all roads will lead to VeVe at some point. Speaking of which, I don't need that right meow. Oh, double crap. I don't need that right meow. So speaking of which, you have a guy named UT Snake Eyes who follows me. Says, wow, looks like another NFT project is shutting down as soon as they can. Shutting down soon as they can barely afford staff. Talking about Candy NFTs, who did mainly DC, MLB, NASCAR. Looks like they can barely keep staff. And as always said, they made side deals with people or groups. That was the downfall. That's what he had said, along with destroying BatCal's utility and value by making dozens of variations. I don't know about the last part of that, where the side deals is what was the downfall, and the making the dozens of variations of BatCals. Maybe I can't speak for if that was actually a net negative thing or a bad thing. Kembo Koro says, I sent you something on Telegram about DEVVE. Keep it for yourself. Is your name Kembo Koro on Telegram? I be advised, I do not have someone to go through my messages. So just tell me your name on Telegram, because I don't know what I'm looking for here. Oh, I missed this message. Okay. Yeah, just let me know the message, because I don't know what I'm looking for here. Just let me know your oh, okay. I think I got you. I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at here. Yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure. If you could explain, like on 5, it's also coming in a little blurry. Yeah, that'd be nice. This is all so cute. Penguin saying, share with us all. Let Randy see it first, but keep for himself. I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at, so I actually don't know what to. Yep, I saw it. Bleeves should be. I don't know. He's in the middle. He was in the middle of lunch. He messaged me. I wasn't even going to do a live today, but he messaged me like hour or two ago, and he's just like, "Hey, next time you want to talk about DEVVE?" And it's like, well, I showered, I did my stuff, I'm probably ready to, and I don't really have to leave to the airport for like another hour 20. So I was like, I do have a hard stop at 3:45, but let's go live at 2:30. He's like, I'm in the middle of lunch, so whenever he's done, he'll come. Anyway, UT Snake Eye says only the strong will remain, and sure, barely holding on to survival. Who's left now? VeVe, OpenSea, Top Shot. He tags Comics and Crypto and Paul Barron. So if you remember back in the day, Paul Barron gave VeVe like an F on everything, and he graded every other platform, including Quid, including Candy, including Recur, all of them higher grades than VeVe, which was absolutely fucking retarded because he is. You two are great together. Well, thank you. Why, thank you. Yeah, I love Bleeves. He's awesome. Anyway, so going on. This guy from Discord, Casanova, saying, "Hey all, an unofficial update before the weekend. What is left of the Candy team is aware of all previously noted issues that include USDC withdrawal errors, ACH withdrawal errors, future pass login issues, support ticket access closed, marketplace purchase errors. It's clear these things need to be fixed, but due to limited staffing and resources, they've been unable to make meaningful progress, meaning that they probably have no more money left. Overall, this is not a fun situation for any of us to be in. It's been relayed to me that C-level leadership and board members understand the importance of preserving the ability to access the NFTs you purchased and the money you have on the platform. I expect in the coming days and weeks, we will hear more concrete information regarding how, when this will be properly enabled for you all. My best advice is to exercise patience with this process. Moving forward, I'm not officially part of the Candy team, but I'll make myself available for help with next steps when that is solidified. Honestly, he's not even part of the team, and he's doing this. Like, I would have been out long ago. This Candy journey has been a wild one, but I appreciate everyone in the community that has been supportive through the ups and downs. Hope we can all enjoy the holidays with friends and family over the next few days. That will be my plan. So there's two schools of thought here. There's one people are saying like, yo, Candy's going to get acquired. Everything will be fine. There's another that'll be like, they're cooked. Everything's on their cook. Well, there's a couple schools of thought. Thank you for showered. Yeah. I shower sometimes, like to, well, I mean, you gotta for the ladies, right? You can't be going all there. Although apparently back in the day, Dennis Rodman would finish a basketball game, change out of his clothes, like he'd be sweaty AF. He'd change out of his clothes, not shower, and just go right into his dress clothes and just go out sweating, and it didn't matter. All the girls would be like, oh my God, because they wanted his D, right? They wanted to steal his seed. And dude still managed to get bad Carmen, like prime Carmen Electra. And so, I mean, apparently, I don't think I would ever get near that level of fame and popularity, but there's been times where I was like, I look and feel like shit, and still the girls are just like, and I'm like, okay. I imagine it depends where we'll go over that. Anyway, I'm in showering. Oh yes, of course. Anyway, keep on going here. Yeah, so there's some people that think all the NFTs on Candy are just done and they'll never be out there. And so focus on the bigger problem. Will Candy get acquired or will they not? If I'm someone, let's say like VeVe, and I know that most of the users that were on Candy were VeVe users anyway, I'm not going to fucking acquire Candy and pay, I don't know. I don't know what they're worth now. It's probably, I don't even think they're worth $1 million at this point. With the licenses, they probably are. But again, the licenses, all you need to do is go to the licenses that they had and be like, hey, like we're rocking it. Like we're on fire. Like back the truck up and just re-release your stuff onto here. And the licenses would probably be like, yeah, that's cool. Now, the only reason why that wouldn't happen is I think very similar to what happened with Recur and potentially VeVe, and then Netflix and Fox and Disney. So way back in the day, I mean, this is like not even a decade ago, right? But well, back in the day, Netflix acquired the streaming rights to Jessica Jones and Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Daredevil and Punisher. Like these are like some top tier street level guys that everybody knows and loves. That everyone like. Although I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if Jessica Jones was all that popular beforehand. Netflix made Jessica Jones fucking amazing, and they made Iron Fist. Iron Fist was. I liked the first show. I liked the first Iron Fist, show that they did, but it was not like, it still was like, it was not great. Even though I liked it. Luke Cage season 1 was cool. Anyway, uh, after they got the streaming rights to them, their shows were amazing. They were awesome. I was like, oh my God, I'm watching every one of these. Daredevil season 1, great. Daredevil season 2 is pretty much Punisher season 1. Oh my God, that was so good. And then Punisher series, also great. So what happened when Disney bought Fox and Century 21, and now they, or I'm sorry, yeah, Disney bought Marvel. Disney bought Fox. So Disney buys all these characters. But the big thing was when they bought Marvel, and they had this cooling off period where they had to wait like 5 years. Like, only these past year or two are we getting new Daredevil stuff? Are we getting like new stuff from those characters? Because there was this cooling off period. I think there might be something similar to that with digital rights and NFTs, because again, Recur went down years ago. And David mentioned that he was already talking to some of those licenses. And it's been years. So I know before, like, we had the Jurassic Park license for a while before we got to use it. So maybe the licenser's like, you know what, we'll do it, we'll do this deal, but we don't want to like do it until, market's back in full swing again, which it's still not. So we could be waiting another year or so. Or maybe they had a cooling off period. So if there's a cooling off period and VeVe says like, hey, we're talking to MLB, we're talking to DC, we're talking to these things to get them on our platform, we just have to wait a couple years to get them on because of that. If that's the reason, then it might make sense to just buy Candy out and then they get those licenses. But I don't know if that's the case or not. And again, I don't even know if VeVe's interested, because they have their plate filled with so many licenses already. But I mean, to get MLB, to get baseball, like that is, to get NASCAR and DC, which I know they've been wanting for a while, like DC Comics, get them one. That's going to be good for DC Comics. DC doesn't know what the fudge they're doing, apparently, because that's why they get bought and sold every few years. Bleeves sold all his Definity. We might go over that. We might not, but we will talk about Definity in general. Here's of interest. He's definitely interested in Omi. And I think there's other reasons why he sold the Definity. Also, he never had a crazy amount to begin with. I'm curious if he's interested in Omi. I think he is. I think and you'll see why. Anyway, TA deals. Okay. But you have people that, like my friend Derek, who's been on the podcast, Derek Snook, has put in tens of thousands of dollars into the Shohei Ohtani NFTs, and that if they survive, that's a big one. Like, that is, but again, you run this risk. So he makes a very good argument saying like, okay, the physicals are up here for the one-of-ones. The digital cost is down here. And at some point, that gap, it may not ever close, it may not ever surpass, but it'll get closer. And I think he's absolutely right. But we don't know which Shohei Ohtanis are going to be the ones that wind up closing that gap, or at least make that gap be closer. And it's like, well, that's why he bought all of them. He bought all of these one-of-ones. He bought all of these ones. So one of them's going to go, right? Not necessarily. Because even though he's got all of the current one-of-ones of Shohei Ohtani, it's on a failed platform. And there's no guarantee that the platform gets bought out. There's no guarantee that the NFTs on that platform are ever going to be made interoperable to go to any other place. Now, what other platform or chain could be used so that the original licensors can get the stuff that they were promised, they can get their royalty fees? Only VeVe and the Collect chain. That's it. So OpenSea can claim to want it, but unless they can guarantee those royalties, unless they, like, which they can't, only the Collect chain and VeVe can do that right now. Now, maybe someone else can build it and in a year or two can happen, but right now VeVe's got this on heckin' lock. And Yeah, I just, so for VeVe though, would they buy the exist, or would they try to migrate them to the collect chain, the existing NFTs on the collect chain? What's working against that is that VeVe doesn't make anything on primary sales because they were already sold. Like they don't make anything on the existing comics that had happened, you know, like that have been sold, the existing packs that have been sold, where they get those Otanis, the Stranger Things that are on there, like they don't get anything from the primary sales. They have to pay a bunch of money. At what they would get is the 2.5% of everything that's sold on Stacker or VeVe, and it's like, okay, that could be cool. You know, that could be something that, you know, might work out for them long term, but in the short term, they still have to put up a lot of money. And again, it might not be worth it because you've had this before. Like you have Tops, you have Upper Deck, you have Fleer, you have Okichi, you have all of these different things where, yeah, someone can put out packs on Upper Deck, someone can put out packs on Tops, and they all still make money. So what I think, and this is going to get me in trouble with the people that have the stuff on there, but what would probably make sense for VeVe, it'd be like Pokemon saying like, okay, we're going to release the first ever Pokemon cards. You know, the Pokemon, we have the game, but here's the cards, the first ever ones, and they're Meiji cards, and they're Card-ass cards, and they're blue back, and they're green back cards, and like they keep releasing these trading cards, and people talk about first edition Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, and there are many people that think, oh, this, yeah, it's first appearance Charizard. Like this is rookie Charizard. This is rookie, you know, Blastoise, Venusaur, Zapdos, Chansey, Hitmonchan. But it's not. It's like the fifth iteration of them. The only reason why people know and love the first edition base set is because that's when it got popular. That's when it took off. When they gave it to WotC, when they gave the rights to Wizards of the Coast to print them, that's when it went insane. And all the other ones, now granted, any type of Charizard, whether it's Meiji, with Card-ass, blue back, green back, it doesn't matter. Any Charizard will be worth something. Is any Kabuto, I'd say Kabuto, is any Caterpie going to be worth something? Probably not. Is any Clefairy going to be worth something? Probably not. There are most of those cards, most Pokemon cards are worth less than $1. It's the reason that first edition base set is so coveted is because that's when it became popular. That's when the show came out. That's when everything happened. So I think that in that same breath, yeah, you have a Grail, you know, it's the first time DC, you know, Grail like Batman #1 or, you know, Action Comics #1, Superman #1, whatever you have, is on Candy. Okay, we've had first times that you've had, you know, Charizard and Venusaur and Zapdos and Moltres and Articuno, you know, on these things, but it didn't matter. It only mattered when it got to a platform and a timing when it was popular. When it got to Wizards of the Coast at WotC, and when it got, and the kids like went crazy over it. Pokemania. I think in that same breath, DC could re-release those same comics that were released on Candy, and they could release them on VeVe. I think back in the day, weren't there like staples in the comics that were on Candy? Like weren't they like messed up? There was printer lines and everything on it, if I'm not mistaken. So I think there's a chance that what DC does is say like, hey, here was our first steps. We fucked it up, messed up. We're gonna do it right this time. Like here's the newer version. And yeah, some of those people on Candy might be a little upset. But again, it's a newer, cleaner version because the stuff that they had on Candy, at least from what I'm remembering, some of the first comics that they had on there literally had the staples in. They literally had print lines in it. They would call them error comics. The ones on VeVe would never have that. The stuff on VeVe, again, high-end 3D digital collectibles. They take care of the IP. They take care of everything. Everything looks immaculate. Everything looks stellar. And I think there's a chance that that can happen. What does that mean for the stuff that's already on there? I don't know. But again, like if I'm DC and I take a look at similar things that have happened, like, okay, what are some other licensors that have been in the same boat that I am now? What did they do? What was the fallout? What was the pushback? What was the blowback or the consequences? name your synonym for all things bad. And you take a look at even something like CNN, where they made an NFT project, and all they had to do on their Discord was just like, hey guys, this has been such a great experience. It's been so much fun. We won't be minting any new NFTs out there, but we know the project will live on through the existing NFTs. And of course, you, the community. That is how it lives on. And CNN basically rugged their community. They said, yeah, buy all this stuff. We promise to do X, Y, and Z. And then once they got that paycheck, they're like, yeah, no, we're good. Thanks for the money. Fuck y'all. All of y'all. Y'all don't like me, blow me. That's pretty much what CNN did. Where else did this happen with? You've had Rugrat NFTs. You've had Hey Arnold NFTs. And this was on Recur. You've had Care Bear NFTs. You had, what were the other, Hello Kitty NFTs. And then what happened to them? I don't know what they're worth now, but when the existing platform committed seppuku and they overspent, nobody really knows or cares what happened to them. Now maybe there are some people that are like, you know what? These are the first ever Nickelodeon NFTs. It doesn't matter that they're JPEGs. Doesn't matter that they're on a platform that's dead. I got them, and maybe one day they'll be worth something. And yeah, they might. I think if I'm DC and I'm looking at all of the other licenses that have been in this position, they didn't do the right thing. They didn't make sure that their holders were taken care of. Like I don't see anyone pointing the blame at Hey Arnold or Rugrats or Hello Kitty. Be like, you should have gave Recur more money. Now my stuff that I bought from you as an investor is worth nothing. I don't see any of that. I don't see any of that hatred towards anything from Recur or CNN. Like maybe there was when it first started, but they weathered the storm and it's over. And there's still a lot of people, like every time we get a new Sesame Street character, you get all the liberals, all the blue-haired people, all the people that are just like, oh, these NFTs that, of course, they're misinformed, but they're like, oh, these NFTs, they're horrible for the environment. This is shitty. There's a digital collectible of Cookie Monster, and everything in my life is worse now. Again, look at the people that are complaining. Like so, but if you're a licensor like DC or any licensor that's in this position, all you would say is like, see, people aren't ready for NFTs. They hate NFTs. Look at all these people that are disgusted by NFTs. We don't want to turn off our fans. You know, we have such great fans. We don't want to do the wrong thing by them. It was a mistake to get into NFTs, or it was a mistake to do this for NFTs. And then they go away for a little while, and then they come back on VeVe, you know, a year or two later after everyone forgets. So again, this is just my opinions of what could happen. Other things could be. I don't even know if VeVe's trying to fight for him. All good. Will still be live for another good bit. All right, Bleeves will take a little bit longer, which is fine. We love Bleeves. Anyway, so that's some of my thoughts on that. Yeah, I don't know how much it would cost. If anyone can make a estimated guess at how much it would cost to acquire Candy, you know, let me know. Again, they're not going to generate any meaningful income from primary sales, royalties maybe, but it's not going to be, I don't think, worth it. In the long run, it might be, but as of right now, there's better places to allocate that money in that regard. Again, acquiring the IP rights is another thing, but yeah. And again, if they drop Action Comics #1, how many people will care that it was on Candy first? I don't know. Maybe some, but the real value would probably be on VeVe. Anyway, let's go to some more stuff, y'all. Goats. 3.1 million Omi burned on December 19th. That is yesterday. That is great. HOTTOGO. You can make it hard to go. I had gone and sent out the first 5 pages to small, official small, SMLL. The first 5 pages were sent to them. They're going to review it this weekend and let me know what they think. I think it is pretty good. IBIT. IBIT is the only ETF in 2025 flow leaderboard with a negative return this year. CT's knee-jerk reaction is to whine about the return, but real takeaway is at the 6th place despite the negative return. Boomers putting on HODL Clinic even took in more than GLD, which was up 64%. That's a really good sign long-term, in my opinion. If you can do 25 billion in a bad year, imagine the flow potential in a good year. This was said by Eric Balkunas over on X. Me and some friends 11 years ago at a Christmas party. My friend knows. Miss him so much. Shout out to Hype Master for becoming level 69. And also, shout out to Chombo Fett, that's also level 69. Nice all around. Meow. BlackRock sells $173 million of the Bitcoin and $75 million of Ethereum. Oh no. Fulton County admits it illegally certified 315,000 ballots in 2020. That's insane. A whale has bought 2,500 Bitcoin worth 221 million in the past 24 hours between December 19th and December 20th at 1:30 a.m. Smart money do be buying the dip, though. Do be buying the dip. A guy named Mobo F Joggers, aka Lincoln over on X, has said that 99%, my car drives me 99% of all of my travel. That is the reality. Talking about Tesla, obviously. Self-driving since V14.2. Out of the 1,763.5 miles that the car has driven, 1,738.5 miles were driven by full self-driving. Tom Lee predicts that Ethereum will hit $7,000 by the end of Q1 2026. I think it's possible. Dev Community says that most blockchains optimize for throughput. DEVVE was designed to optimize for settlement finality instead. That distinction matters far more than raw TPS once systems move from retail scale to institutional scale. Finality is not a UX feature. It's a market structure requirement. SpongeBob is ready to be your new sidekick in Fortnite. Play SpongeBob today. Jake Paul got the shit beat out of him yesterday. I don't think he cares. He made like $90 million on the fight, so good for him. That's hysterical. And I think that's it. Let's go over. Have we done DEVVE yet? Let's do DEVVE here. Oh, DEVVE's down 11% on the day. That's not good for it, which is fine. Oh gosh, it's fine. Where am I gonna? Okay, this is fine. What do we have for DEVVE on the day? Let's take a look at the volume. Oh god, I'm dying. $445,000 in volume, down about 33%. Again, there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on with it the past few days. Again, we did have that delay for probably another quarter at least. I would say maybe even early Q2 is when we get that big exchange announcement. It could be as early as February, but I think it's going to be late March, if not early April. They obviously want to wait for better market conditions, but you can only fire that bullet once. Which stock exchange partner is it? We don't know. Evidence seems to point towards a US one. And again, apparently they talk every day. Definity, let's take a look at them. Meow, 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 meow. Up 2.5% to 1.55 cents. I have a good bit of this. I want to get more. I think I will. Depends what goes up first. And then OMI on base. Why can't I find it? Okay, here we go. Up 3% on the day to 0001885. $51 million market cap. Let's take a look at where the volume is at. It is at 2.2 million in volume, but I want to say 40% of that's from DeepCoin. 39.57% from DeepCoin. That's 878,000. Got almost $500,000 from BingX. Good for them. $250,000 from MEXC, another 200,000 from Gate.io. Good stuff. Good stuff, mates. Good stuff. Do you like it like that? I like it like that. Okay. My back. All right, let's do daCat here real quick. And then we'll go to small, and then where's the daCat? All right, the kitty has it has $1.48 in volume on the day, $1.1 million market cap. Yeah, that's something that we definitely need to and we'll fix that next year. Obviously, it's the holidays, right? Meow. Stuff ain't moving too much in the holidays. Well, let's take a look at the liquidity: 160,000 in Ethereum, 160,000 in the cat tokens. Gotta love that. All right, let's do. Oh yeah, we're gonna do small. SMOL. See where they're at. Small is down 16.7% on the day. That is really, really low. $30,000 in trading volume, $1.2 million market cap. They're very new, and they've already got. I mean, their community is really, really cool. Let's take a look at their X. Official small. 571 followers, which is not a lot, but they are in, I think, the top 29% creators on OnlyFans. So I love that. And again, I just sent them the first 5 pages of their comic. Be on VeVe official. It is going to take place between books 4 and books 5 for daCat, so it'll probably come out before it's supposed to, but that's just what it's going to be, which is fine. It's fine. They always have voice chats going on. Not right now, but in their Telegram, they usually have voice chats going on. Let's see what other stuff is going on. Let's try Fiat. I think Fiat actually did really well this last couple of days. Oh, nothing. All right, so $1.8 million market cap. It was literally like a 1.3 the other day. So it went up a lot. Bleeves wealthy to their proven track record in crypto. Earlier this year, he mentioned that he wasn't a millionaire, which I was very shocked by because he seems to have a very good head on his shoulders. He seems to make a decent amount of money. He's older than me, so if he's not yet, he will be very, very soon. But I'm pretty sure. What the heck? All right, there's a David and Dan Christmas tree article that just came out. David and Dan, actually, I don't. Is this a thing? Hold on, wait a sec. Is this give me one sec. Is the meow? Yeah, mostly, yep, sagging. Okay, sorry, give me one sec. Because wait, what? Okay. So the David and Dan Christmas tree article is now live. For the 3 generations of Batman on the same branch, they've replied, rearranging the Waynes. Even Bruce needs some elbow room. The tree was ridiculous in the best way. Instead of normal baubles, there were tiny golden statues. I guess that means the golden moments. Miniature comics, a T-Rex in a Santa hat, and a little at, and a gang of mutant turtles dangling from a candy cane hook. Getting into the office had been a whole other saga. The tree was so big it wouldn't fit through the doors, so Dan had spent a weekend optimizing the process. In Dan speak, that meant building a roll frame and pulley contraption by hand, swinging the tree through the windows until it stood perfectly in the middle of the VeVe floor, like it had always lived there. Now, David, in his orange jacket and a slightly crooked Santa hat, stepped back and took in the task ahead of them. Dan, hoodie sleeves shoved up, looked around with the ornaments. What am I reading? That's what happens when you decorate a tree for collectors, Dan muttered carefully, balancing a Felix ornament beside the tiny R2-D2. You say that, how long is this freaking article? Okay, let me skip over here. They hung the mini David and Dan on a branch just off center, right where anyone walking to the office would see them, tucked in among at-ats, trooper, rabbits, pixies, and all the rest. David gave his ornament a gentle tap. So it swung, catching the light. Reckon we might need a few more of these, he said. For the office, David asked. Dan glanced at the tree, past it like he could see through the walls to the world outside, something like that. He said, I've got a list. David snorted. Any details you can share with me? Dan smiled, says, details. He paused, then couldn't help himself. Soon. They both laughed, the sound soft against the rustle of branches and the faint buzz of lights. Outside the window, snow began to fall, slow and steady. The tree shimmered in the glass, little glows of every brand, every drop, and a pair of founders in a Christmas tree. David lifted an imaginary glass towards the tree, said, to the VeVe family. Dan bumped his shoulder lightly against David's eyes, still on the ornaments. Is this like VeVe smut? Okay, hold on. What is the I'm whatever's a good banana? Nope. All right. I don't like this is clearly like a puzzle, right? Like there's like who like why would you spend time on this? On this little thing that doesn't seem to One sec here. David lifted an imaginary glass toward the tree. To the VeVe family, he said. Dan bumped his shoulder lightly against David's, eyes still on the ornaments. I don't know what this means. Like this is like code for so I feel like I feel like someone has been captured and being held hostage and they're being forced to say something, and even though they're saying something, they're saying they're like trying to Morse code something like this is okay. Hold the fucking phone. All right, hold the fucking phone. Hold the fucking phone. Okay, I realize I skipped something in the middle here. This is what happens when you decorate a tree for collectors, Dan muttered carefully. You say that like it's a bad thing, said David. He wiped his hands on his jacket and tilted his head. Look at the AT-ATs and troopers alongside Myrmicornos and Marvel Mighties. It's like the VeVe app exploded onto a tree. He wiped a tear from his eye. It's beautiful. Nestled beside them sat a giant red sack of trinkets and ornaments, all carefully hunted down by David over the past year. Every convention, every meeting, every quick stop in an airport shop had ended with another little trinket for the tree. Dan tugged the sack open. It rattled and jingled with the weight of all the tiny treasures inside. He dug around, holding one ornament up to the light, then another, frowning like someone trying to choose between two secret rares. I see you didn't pick up a Pokemon. Don't start, David said, shaking his head and rolling his eyes before Dan could finish. So he says, I see you didn't pick up a Pokemon. Don't start, David said. So they're talking about like, why would you print this? Why would you print this out with the tease of Pokemon? Like why do they hate us? Why do they hate us? Why are they trolling like this? Second teaser for Avengers Doomsday is now playing in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. Poorly features Thor reciting a prayer to Charlie Kirk. Huh. There's no way like that really happened, right? But like this is like this. Oh, okay. I thought it was a legit. Okay, it's not a got fished. They had me in the first half. This is fake, obviously. I mean, I should have known. You know that's fake, right? But what is not fake Wow. If this is teasing, meow, meow, meow. So again, that line of, I see you didn't pick up a Pokemon. Don't start. It like, they're, fuck, do we have Pokemon? I'm gonna need a minute here. I'm gonna need I have to go soon too. But I'm gonna need T minus. I need to like do a lap here. But like y'all can go to this and read the David and Dan Christmas tree stuff. Like it's out there. There's a little Christmas tale from the VeVe team celebrating the collector chaos, inside jokes, and family vibe that make the holidays at VeVe feel like home. Imaginary glass. Maybe it's not that deep. Maybe it's just a fucking joke. I don't know. I don't know. Bro's edging us with Pokemon. It's not me. It's not me. Like they're clearly writing it in the thing. I honestly like I'm. It's probably just a joke. Oh. Oh. Okay, I see what they did here. Well, guys, it's not going to be Pokemon, but it's. I. All right, let's see here. A. N. N. And ba. And beb. What the fuck? I don't know if I can decipher this. Hold on. What is a thing and that? Oh, okay. Wait, T. T. All right, TP. TPR. All right, TPR. 2, 3. TPR. TPR. Ah. TPRE. TPRE. I'm tripping over here. TPRES. Oh, TPRES. TPRES. I'm sorry, TPRES. E. Present. I'm going to guess this is the N. N. T present? No. It basically just says like present down there. Give me one sec. So this is like if you click. Give me a sec. So basically in the article, because I was really looking at the I was really like what's it called? Searching on every word. Yeah, I know, right? I don't know about Polygon. I know I was like searching for every word, and then like I'm parsing through everything, seeing if there was something that I missed or I mixed up, and then towards the end, I just there's a there's a hyperlink in here. This is really cool. Oh shit. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. That is a parody account. It's crazy. I've been there before. This is nice. Okay. Anywho, just look at each word and exclamation point and period. And one of these is not like the other, and then that's how you get to the thing. Anyway, I think Bleeves is gonna unfortunately be. Oh, Fios will have its own budgets. Very nice, very nice. Unfortunately, Bleeves is gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bounce soon. And Bleeves is gonna be a little. Could be a little late. That is fine. I'm gonna give him a couple more minutes. And if anything, I'm gonna go to. X and just take a look at some things up here. Oh, playing VR games without a headset. Huh. Well, Portal VR, it lets you play Steam VR app on your Windows PC without wearing a headset. Just plug in your Meta Quest via USB. Put it on your desk facing you. Oh, interesting. Master Games Alert. Don't care about that. Merry Christmas in advance to everyone. I wonder if there's anything. Actually, before I get to this, 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking. If anyone can go smash that like button, it's a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon special super thanks button down below, super chats as well. Y'all my bays. Let's see if there's anyone in X on spaces. Nope, not gonna do that. Heinecoin is speaking. Love Heinecoin, but we'll chill and chill. Ooh, there's a lot of people speaking in that space. Day Heroes Be Damned. We got a Heroes Be Damned comic from VeVe coming out. Very nice. No, yeah, no, Bleeves. I actually don't have his number. He's also been on. We've just been talking on X. At 2, said I'm just eating lunch. Just give me a bit. I was like, yeah, no problem. So I'm gonna need a bit longer. I'll probably just tell him like, hey, I got a flight to catch. 1 billion. Damn, 6.9 billion miles on full self-driving. That's a huge advantage. What else we got here on X? Those are the people that I'm following. This isn't my For You page, but I should have that. No crying in the casino. I am indeed crying in the casino. Stardog saying thank you for everyone's support. Our parent company's client, David A.R. White's new movie, A Line of Fire, is number 4 on Netflix today. Very good. Very good. Beaten out by Paw Patrol, A Christmas Romance, and Wake Up, Dead Man, Knives Out. Okay. Now, everything is awesome when you're part of a team. They found what appears to be an old house on the surface of Mars. That's really cool. That was really dope. That is really dope. Damn, Kabuto King has over 2,200. Okay, I can stay on a little bit longer. My flight is delayed. Back. Well, That's fine. That's fine. At least I won't have to. I was gonna wait in the airport for my bay for 4 hours, but now I won't have to. My will still get there before you. I don't know why my flight is delayed, but it is. So now I can stay on, and Bleeves will come on. Bleeves will totally come on, even though my flight is delayed. I don't want it to be delayed, but it is. The other flight is still my girlfriend's flight is still there, still good. Even though my flight is not. Although it hasn't updated in the app yet. In the app, it still says it's leaving at a certain time. But on this, it says that it is departing late. Only by like 40 minutes though. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Rather than just, 40, 50 minutes later. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Good evening, masters and dungeons, with your chows. Okay, flight is delayed. Don't have to leave that early. Crazy how we're all going to Orlando together, except on next week. I know. Should have changed your flight. Where is Bleeves? Bleeves is running a little late. Late by about an hour almost, almost. But he'll get here eventually. He'll get here eventually. We hope. And what do you think of the? I don't know what, it's blurry. I don't know what to make. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what to make of it. Like I looked at it and I can kind of tell what it's about, but I don't know if I see really what, like I see certain things. And I don't want to say too much about what it is, but yeah, I'm just not sure. Not sure. No. Mention. Give me one sec. Bill and zombies. That going to Mint's channel. He said it would be 26. There was liquidity. Jin Token tagged me in something. Saying, holiday perk alert. Mint a Star Dogs NFT and receive a bonus voice or photo cameo included with every mint through the end of the year. Fun access Hollywood vibes. Mint now. Mint now. Give them some hearts because they tagged me in it. What do you think about Fanable Pokiosk? I have a buddy of mine that had gotten something from there. I don't know how much he paid exactly, but he wound up getting a CGC 9 unlimited Charizard from base set, which is like a $1,200, $1,300 card. And what they did was they said, so I don't know how much he paid for it. Maybe he paid like $100, $250, whatever. Got that card. So they offered to buy it back from him for retail. Okay, all right. So he paid 136. So he pretty much 9x'd his money, like 9.5x his money. And again, they're paying for that card legit at Oh, oh. Oh, damn. Is delayed, so I got hiccups. For another, you need oh, okay, but so yeah, paid 136, 150, and again, it's worth, I don't know, whatever they offered to him. It was like exactly what it was like going for at retail, and I was like, that's a very good deal. I guess the only other thing, because it's like, well, Chavez, I've seen some PSA 9s and they're like over $2,000, right? Yes, but that's PSA. PSA is synonymous with Pokemon. CGC recently got into the game the last few years, but again, it's people typically want PSA. They would want BGS in a 9 or above. Any subgrades below a 9 on BGS, it might as well be a 7. Like even if it says 8.5, BGS just the grading falls off a cliff when it goes below a 9, at least for Pokemon cards. So you typically want PSA. So what my friend could do, if he wanted to wait like half a year, I don't know how long it would take. Back in the day, if let's say, you know, let's say I get a Pokemon card right now that I pull, and I go and I send it out January 1st to get graded. I would have to wait until January 1st, 2027, pretty much to get it back. Like me and my girlfriend could get pregnant and have a kid. Like that kid could grow and she could give birth before that card would come back from PSA. That's how long it used to be able to take. Nowadays, like, and that used to be a real problem for a lot of people, where there were times where I was floating like 30, 40 grand out because I had sent so many cards to PSA, waiting to get them back, and I had to put new money in from my other business, borrow from it, because again, even though I had so much product, it was all out on the street, it was all waiting to come back. PSA just got so flooded. Nowadays, I think it's a little bit easier. I don't think it takes that long, but if it doesn't take that long, what my friend could do is that, okay, is a CGC 9, and if he were to send me photos of it front and back, I could be like, you know what, this would get a PSA 9. You should regrade it. So you could crack it yourself, send it to them, or you could just send it to them. They'll crack it for you. And then you basically double your money. Like again, even though he already like 9x'd his money, or 8x'd his money, he could double it again, and he could send that to PSA. It would, if it looks like it would grade a 9, it would grade a 9. So sometimes like you'd rather either get an 8 or a 9. Sometimes for PSA, there's 8.5s, there's 7.5s. The good thing is that there's no difference between a 9 and a 10. Or I shouldn't say it. There's nothing in between a 9 and a 10. There's no 9.5s at PSA. So it's possible if it's, let's say CGC graded super hard that day, and maybe it's like, I don't see, oh wait, but look at it from this specific angle, tiniest indent, right? Which if it was an indent, it would get like a 6 or 7. It wouldn't get a 9. But let's say the person woke up on the wrong side of the bed. His wife was fighting with him, hasn't gotten any in a couple months, and he's just hating life. It's like 9. And maybe it gets a 10 on PSA, right? And then obviously it gets multiple thousands of dollars, even though it's unlimited. Almost like there. Even though it's unlimited, because of the 10, it would still get good. Yeah, I know. So now original depart flight. Yep. 7. Okay. Don't have to leave till like, probably don't have to leave till like 4, whatever then. Anyway, so that's what I would probably suggest for him to do, would be to go in and say like, hey, send it to PSA, get it. If it's now they could have graded it wrong in the other way, where it's like, oh, this would probably get a PSA 8. I don't know how it got a 9. Just take the cash. So again, depending on what it looks like, and I'm probably one of the best graders in the world for Pokemon stuff. I'll be able to tell. And that's what I tell them to do. Got an Ancient Mew. I know PSA 9 from that. Oh, love Ancient Mew. He's awesome. Yeah, notice they pay good to have it back in their stock. Higher the grade kiosk can drop you much promo and other cool stuff. That's awesome. How much you lost? About 30K. I put in about 60. It's worth about 30 now. So about 30K, give or take. I am going to get more next week, I think. So a lot of times what I do for work is I do various OTC deals with people. I set up whales and other whales, and it's like, hey, if there's any discounts or any whatever, you know, Chavez gets a little bit of that cheddar. So part of it is unfortunate is because I don't actually get paid in cash a lot. And a lot of times, like to like live, it's like, okay, make a nice amount of money here. I don't want to put sell pressure on it. So I won't ever like sell. Like you won't ever see like, oh, Chavez just sold like, you know, $50,000 from his wallet, you know, price tanked. It would be like, okay, whoever's looking for, and I'll give people like a 10% discount. So whoever's looking at, you know, a certain token at, let's say, you know, this price, take off 10%, I'll give it to them. Just because that's what I do for, again, I don't want to put negative pressure on it. I want to be, you know, have aspersions cast upon me because they're like, oh yeah, you're talking about these tokens, yet you're selling. It's like, okay, I'll do it in that way where there's no negative pressure on the token for me. But with that, obviously, like what I make is not what I make. It's actually a percentage of that because I have to do stuff at discounts. And but that being said, I will get a little more DEVVE next week. Won't be a ton. And again, it should happen. It should be fine. But yeah, about 30K lost in DEVVE so far. Those last year, my best investments were Pokemon. That was a thing I was always good at, but I left for VeVe. We should go back all into Pokemon. Fundamentally, nothing's changed. ROI will still be the same for what we're talking about with crypto. If anything, will be even better. It's just at this point, I'm not doing that until I'm not getting back into Pokemon until crypto hits. What do you think of the price of DEVVE? Is getting dangerously low now. I guess you know, what do you mean by dangerously low? It's getting really good if you want to buy it. Because nothing has changed fundamentally with the company. The price is irrelevant. It's like in 2002, 2001, whatever, where Apple stock went from like $113 to like $6. Or no, that was Amazon. Went from like 113 to like 6. Yeah, price got dangerously low. Yeah, I think it's dead. Like, but the underlying company was doing better. It's just people were retarded and not looking at that. So I think that we know, like, why is the price low? Did they have earnings come out? Is it low because they, you know, lost staff and people are quitting? Is it low because like the owner died? Like, why is it low? Okay, let's take a look at it. It's because everyone was expecting an announcement of an exchange partner this month. Not only did they delayed literally at like the 11th hour, where before Thanksgiving, they told people everything was still on track. A few weeks later, by the way, guys, it's not on track. We probably knew in Thanksgiving. We just know how to tell you. It's going to be delayed 30 to 90 days just to get the license. Then you have a couple weeks after that. Possibly don't see this until early April, the announcement. So, of course, everyone's just like, fuck it. That was in for a quick flip. They sell most likely at a loss. And they go in, they're like, yeah, I'm going to put it into something else. And then I'm going to hope that something else goes up, and then I'll come back into DEVVE. Generally, that almost never works. Sometimes it does. Sometimes people, yeah, they get it real good. I didn't do that. I'm not doing that. Give me one sec here. Good for you, Elon. Good for you. See you never. Yeah, flight is slightly delayed, huh? Anyway, oh, my back. Move on here. So again, what am I doing down here? I'm gonna get more next week. That's what I'm doing. Again, I should. Unless something changes fundamentally with the company and the thesis changes, I'm not worried at all. So it says, yep, but Randy, how do we tell our wives or our bae that we screwed up all our plans invested with crypto? Tell her how long to wait. I'm very lucky, and my girlfriend loves me very much, and she's not uppity. She's not she's not materialistic, and the life that I can provide for her now, when we're all down here, is really not that much. Even so, it's a major upgrade from the life that she kind of currently has. It's a major upgrade, but it's still like, hey, listen, I know we were talking about I was going to take you to like Japan and Europe and all these places, and like we'll still do that, but it's probably not going to happen the first quarter or maybe even half of this year. Might have to wait another year. She's fine. Like she's chill with it. So I mean, again, if your bae is not understanding of that, you got to be like, hey, listen, babe, we have to have a real talk. Do you trust me? And if she says yes, then okay, great. Here's what's happening. Here's what we expect to happen. Anything can change, obviously, but this is the plan. This is how we see it, and all this is going to work out. Just gonna have to wait another 6 to 12 months. And as long as you explain it eloquently, she should be able to understand. Like, okay, so Clarity Act has to pass. Okay, that should be January. Okay, there's Jerome Powell gets out in May, so maybe there's some stuff after that. Liquidity to be injected into the markets. Okay, so on this timeline, in the next 6 to 12 months, things should be a lot better. Yes, probably be fine. If on the first question, do you trust me? And she says no, that is a whole other conversation. I can't help with that. Need Dr. Phil. But yeah, I would say 6 to 12 months is probably for a lot of these things. DEVVE, I think, will be much sooner just because of the announcement. But again, and they could delay again. What's your expectation? When do you think they'll deliver? For DEVVE, I'm going to say early April, but it could be much sooner than that. It could be like early February. We're not 100% sure here. But I'm just going to say early April just because that's easiest. My back. What up, bro? Yo, what's up, Kuma? How's it going, fam? Yo, girl. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Harder. I'm falling. All right. I got a new boarding pass here. All right. Take that. Only a couple hours of waiting for my bae. It's fine. That time again. Premium collectible. Huzzah. I want to be a premium collectible one day. One day, maybe, but maybe in cat form. Who knows? Very good. Very good. I'm walking on sunshine. Oh, how much do you make working like this from crypto? It's hard to say because a lot of the compensation that I get comes in the form of shares of companies, and that's not really liquid. Like, it's a lot. Like, if you're just going based off the past like year or two, I'm in the 1%. But again, it's all in these shares of these companies. It's all in like it's not the it's not like I'm getting like a paycheck and then I can do whatever I want with it. If I wanted to sell, I'd have to go in and just be like, okay, these shares that I have are worth 30 grand. I'll sell 10% of it, which is $3,000 to you for $2,500 or $2,000, whatever it is. Give me some big discounts. And Yeah, sometimes if I need a piece, yeah, I'll take a piece and I'll do that. I don't want to because a lot of these companies are just going fucking crazy. So in that, the compensation that I get for doing it like is a lot, but it's not like cash, and it's not even, some of it's crypto, but most of it is not even in stuff that's liquid. Again, the stuff in crypto is liquid, yeah. But yeah, that's about that. I'll have a much better idea next year when I can finally cash some of this stuff out. Do you feel they were dishonest by leaving people on? Only knew it was delayed. No, because they didn't know, we didn't know that the Clarity Act would be delayed, and even if we did know it would be delayed, they could still buy a company that has the virtual asset service provider license at any time that they want. But obviously, having to have a board meeting and having to meet on that, be like, hey, what do we do here? Again, you don't know which way it's going to go. Like, do they do something super early? But then it's like, actually, this is like one of the worst times that you could make an announcement for. And I see people. One of the main examples I saw in the Telegram was like, okay, you say that, but Ondo just announced this partnership. Ondo's announcing stuff. Look at fucking Ondo's price. Like, yeah, they announced something cool. What did it do for their price? Had a negative impact. So I understand that people just want something to be done, but what are the consequences of doing that now versus doing that later? And it's just night and day difference. So I don't think that they had I wouldn't say they were dishonest at all. I would say that they probably weren't as clear as they could have been. And the fact that, but again, you don't want to try to say like, hey, we don't know what we're doing, because that is bad optics as well. I don't know the perfect way to have handled it. Even in 2020 hindsight, I don't know the best way that it should have been done. But what was done was done. And again, from the announcement and the article that they put out, it was actually bullish for long term. People just are not liking the. I think a lot of people over leverage themselves. A lot of people sold, clearly. So I mean, I was hoping I'd be able to get it cheaper, actually, but it's not like I'm getting a paycheck and I'm doing whatever I want with it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you sell at 10% discount, then I will sell plus 10%, easy money. So that's the other thing. Like I'm very careful with who I choose to sell it to, because I know that if I sell to someone from my 10% discount and they just go out and sell it, that's still a net negative for the token and for the company and for me, because people can track it and be like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is one of Chavez's wallets, and he didn't sell from his main account, but he flipped over to another's wallets, and that sold. Again, that's not what I do. I always make sure to take very care and be very persnickety on who I'm selling it to, making sure that they're a long-term holder. Because again, like, clearly you thought of this in 1 second. So of course I and many others are going to think about that as well. I only sell it to people that are long-term holders. And because of that reason, I don't want any negative pressure on the tokens that I hold. Yeah, sometimes I need a piece. I'll take a piece. Yeah, pretty much. I'm just type what you're saying. See how fast I could type, because I'm mad bored. That's awesome. Hey, coffee. Just join. Where's Bleeves, bruh? I don't. Oh, he actually. Okay, no, he didn't. I'll let you know. Is like at 1:30 today, so about 2-ish hours ago, is like, if you want to talk DEVVE, let me know. I'll come on. It was like 2 p.m. 30 minutes. 20 minutes go by. It's like, I can do 2:30 p.m. if you need. I just have a hard stop at 3:45. Says, yeah, eating, just give me a little bit. I said, cool, set it up for 30 minutes from now. Gave him the StreamYard. He's like, hey, I'm just gonna be a little bit longer. Says, all good. We'll be live for another good bit. I don't know if that's true. Even if it was, I wouldn't be airing out dirty laundry. I don't know if that's a thing that is happening or not. Again, last I saw, he was out to lunch, and he just needed some more time. Ugh. I'm just gonna. Okay, sorry, get that over there. So yeah, the Bleeves is just a little bit late by about an hour 20, but it's fine. That's fine. Like I said, I can be here for a little while longer. But again, assuming he is, why do you care? Why do these? Sorry, I just getting this message here, and okay, gotcha. Talk about DEVVE, any speech? I mean, I talked about DEVVE personally. Bleeves has not been on yet. But DEVVE will hit multiple billions of market cap at some point. I did talk about DEVVE a bit here, so I'll keep you all posted on what goes on. But just a quick recap: they delayed 30 to 90 days just to get the VASP license, and then after that, they'll have a I think 2 weeks after that they'll be able to announce the partner. So we could see it, early February, but I'm really gonna say early April is probably when we'll get it. The big announcement. It could be any time in between, so who knows. Anyway, guys, I am gonna probably bounce right now. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. We'll get Bleeves on another time. Everyone say, now this is about June 26th. Let's see. Again, I'm sure they have something about 26. We don't really know that the partner is NASDAQ, though. That could be about something completely different, even if that was our partner. DEVVE says, I hope April too. Yeah, we hope sooner, like as soon as possible, but April seems to be about the timeline that they gave us. It could be delayed again. We don't know, but more. Thank you, Court of the Ghost Slayers, and have a great fight. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi, bye-bye Dashi, I love you. It is what it is. It's not going to be January. It won't be January. I'll be on vacation, so I don't know if I'm going to go. We'll see. Yeah.